There was a movie in 1997 that pretty much took the world by storm. That was really good. That's a neo-noir and also has to deal with corruption and the glamour of LA. Confidential. Tough, gorgeous, vastly entertaining, says Janet Maslin, the New York Times. Director Curtis Hanson and a terrific cast serve up a thrilling tale of police corruption and Hollywood glamour. Marshall Fine, Gannett Newspapers. In the film of James Ellroy's novel, three cops, Kevin Spacey, Russell Crowe, Guy Pearce, a call girl, Kim Basinger, a mysterious millionaire, David Strathairn, a tabloid journalist, hey, Danny DeVito, and the chief of detectives, James Cromwell, fill a plot rife with mystery, ambition, romance, and humor. The film captured Academy Awards in 1997 for Best Supporting Actress, Basinger, and Best Adapted Screenplay, Brian Helgeland and Curtis Hanson. Off the record and the QT, very hush hush. So this is meant to be kind of, how would I describe this? Well, what I know is it's the growth of Guy Pearce's character, Edmund Exley, who kind of comes in. He's 30 and he's trying to live up to his father's reputation, but he feels inferior because it was a heck of a life that he lived. We don't know exactly what happens to him, but he gets introduced, a little nerdy with the glasses, clean shaven. But at the same time, when six Hispanics are convicted for eliminating two cops, there's this what's known as Bloody Christmas, where they just get piled on because there's a lot of booze that's flowing, assaults and everything, and it's just rough stuff, So at the same, so it's for the first half, it's him trying to get his feet wet into the more seedy underbelly of stuff going on. And there's a massacre that happens at a Night Owl cafe. And I'm thinking, okay, there are these three kids that plotted everything. And I'm thinking, really? So they have two coincidental evidence of shotguns being found, location going on, and the emphasis of stuff going on. So, but eventually our hero starts to prove himself by going around and talking about, just for Pete's sake, just tell us what happened. He's going around from one interrogation room to another. And all the meanwhile thinking, hey, obviously people outside can hear him, but eventually he solves it. And he doesn't solves it, but because he has enough grit and everything, he's makes lieutenant detective at age 30 versus his dad at 33. But there's still stuff going on. There's some people who are having plastic surgery done, and there's a millionaire who's paying for everything. They get these people who move out to Los Angeles to try to pursue something. So they have people who look kind of similar to Lana Turner, Marilyn Monroe, and Veronica Lake. They have them go through plastic surgery on their own and star in B movies. So yes, this was a thing that actually happened. I don't know the name of it, so that's why you get some people who look like them. And the millionaire funding everything. A fleur-de-lis, whatever you want, I believe it's called. This movie was 2 hours and 17 minutes. It is one heck of a ride. So it's obviously the stakes get together in the second half is when we start finding out more of the corruption going on. We're saying, okay, so obviously we have Russell Crowe, he's kind of there in the background for a little bit, but he comes more into prominence as to saying, hey, there is a lot going on. And Kevin Spacey, who plays a conflicted character. I liked here how he has at once kind of a hard-boiled hard-ass, but at the same time he feels sympathetic as he tries to team up with Exley to figure out all the corruption. And of course it's the police chief, Dudley Smith, that is masterminding everything. What a surprise. History repeats itself. So yeah, obviously with all the corruption going on, we get to try, and because they're trying to help improve the image of the LA Police Department. and because the chief is feeling like saying, hey, here's this young upstart who's making stuff happen. I'm trying to still keep the old image going on. So there's a lot of just talking and everything else, but at the same time, we even get the Hush Hush magazine with Danny DeVito's character adding as kind of a comic relief, you know. So you like how he's making everything prosaic and also adding words in. Because in the beginning, I like talking about this one gangster and a whole bunch of people are trying to come in and take his position. That's what the police chief is doing. Done in such a way that, like, you didn't know that was happening. When he does, it's just like, jeez. So, ultimately, in the end, when it's up to Russell Crowe and Guy Pearce, they kind of play Call of Duty Zombies. I'm dead serious. They even have, like, a mattress boarding a window. And then, lo and behold, all the minions come in as they attempt to subdue the two remaining good guys. But then the firearms, all the bullets fly everywhere, people get eliminated, and just, you know, when we're thinking like, okay, so it's just the police chief left because Crow's character is supposedly eliminated, but then I'm just like, you know, police chief walks off, and then Edmund just shoots him in the back. I'm just like, gee, and then you just look at him like, yeah, he really developed a spine right there, just like right as the non-corrupt cops come in. So ultimately he is given a medal and promoted, and also Russell Crowe's character survives. Jeez. This was meant to look like a 1950s movie, but it wasn't done with like all the aesthetics and everything. They were given a kind of modern-ish take on, you know, like certain lights and camera filters and stuff like that. So yeah, expertly written, sexy, filled with corruption, because everything with Rodney King and all this shit that's going on nowadays is just like, yeah, I like Confidential, freaking must watch.